Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. If this is your first time checking me out, welcome as well. So I'm getting a really large sense that the divine feminines are going through a lot of fear-based mentalities right now, and ones that aren't necessarily around, oh, will this connection actually happen, but ones that are really rooted in the root chakra, coming from childhood wounds of I'm not worthy, of lack of self-love. So a lot of this is being implemented in the collective for the divine feminines to work through right now. So I want to hear some messages around what is, first of all, going on between this divine feminine and this divine masculine. I just heard teaching, so in the sense of these root chakra wounds are being triggered in the divine feminine by the divine masculine, in a sense, to teach her. And the cards that just came out are power and voyage. So absolutely. So these root chakra wounds for this divine feminine, what's happening between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, they're triggering one another. But for them to rise into their power and for them to continue on in this voyage with one another, this is the journey. What is specifically going on with this divine masculine on this side of it, with the root chakra wounds coming up for the divine feminine? So we have embracing. Let me read a little bit from the guidebook around this one. So it says, sometimes life overflows with emotions which can feel uncomfortable. However, the ensuing result of this discomfort can be of great value, perhaps arising from an unseen or unknown source. Cherish the overflow of emotions and embrace the times that seem murky, for your inner floodplains are being replenished. As a result, there will be great spiritual and physical expansion. So yes, definitely on this trend. So this divine masculine on the other side of it is his emotions are coming out. So many emotions are coming up for him, and I'm hearing it's definitely regarding this connection. So this heart chakra opening. I see on this picture of him embracing, you see the bird looking out to the waters. So I just got the sense of this is kind of symbolic of how the divine masculine is looking out to the divine feminine. So we have these emotional overflows on the divine masculine side, which is essentially triggering the divine feminine to have these self-love wounds come up, and she's really being guided to hold on. I'm hearing, so hold on through this. You may seem more emotional lately, feeling a bit more tired, needing to rest more because these wounds are coming up, and to provide yourself with that self-love. He's reflecting so much love to you. He's in his head and his heart about you, divine feminine. And what is this is doing? This is showing you areas within your own self still that you still have to heal and love yourself even further. And then we have stillness that came out, and the swan is on here, which the swan is definitely represented of twin flame energy. So the swan here, stillness, I feel like this is speaking to the divine feminine. So you're asked to being called to stay in this stillness, to heal these root chakra wounds, to love yourself on a deeper level. And I look up, and on this stillness card, you see the stars behind the swan. So I'm hearing in more of an expansive, so you're in this expansive mode of self-healing and self-love. What else is going on with this divine masculine on his side? I just heard, I want her so clearly, and in my heart I felt this just emotional opening, just pure love, and just he sees it clearly, he wants her clearly. And yes, again, this is going back to this triggering, this moment of, for the divine feminine, you're feeling this love coming from your divine masculine now. And so what it's doing is any remnants of I'm not worthy of this is coming up. Adventures came out. I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook about this one, but what I'm hearing initially is that the divine masculine is really in a phase of wanting change and wanting new adventures in his life, and wanting to expand into fun as well. Something exciting is around the corner. That's the first sentence in the guidebook. You are entering a new frontier filled with expansive energy. Begin to look at your world in a new and different ways. Something you thought was mundane or someone whom you may have overlooked will open the door to new opportunities and a bigger and bolder way of living. So I'm definitely, what pointed out to me here is someone whom you may have overlooked will open the door to new opportunities. So yes, you, Divine Feminine, he has overlooked you in the past, but he's realizing now that he can't overlook this connection anymore. He loves you and he knows that this is going to expand him into new opportunities, and he wants those new opportunities to come. And yes, simplicity. So we know that these divine masculines have recently been re-triggered in their ego and falling back into the matrix, falling back into the material world to readjust this. And he's finding simplicity, and he's finding love and flow in simplicity. And he wants that in this simplicity in the connection with you. What else is this divine masculine going through right now? I just heard, I'm being called to my highest good. And re-entering. He's re-entering into his highest self, his soul self, his authentic self. And I just feel so happy hearing that, because for this Divine Feminine, that's exactly what you've been wanting recently. And then patience and enlightenment just fell out as well, which is on trend with this. So having patience through this process of re-entering. The Divine Masculine needs to have patience with himself and patience with the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine, you need to have patience with the Divine Masculine on this process. And I'm hearing so much patience with yourself right now. Do not be down on yourself right now if you're feeling more emotional and in fear. It's coming up for you to work through, to expand. So be patient with yourself through this Divine Feminine. And then enlightenment on the other side of this, exactly what we were just talking about. The Divine Masculines really re-entering into this stage of being connected with their highest self, their authentic self, their soul self, leading to enlightenment on both ends of this, I'm hearing. So let's use this oracle deck. What is going on with the Divine Feminine in the 3D? So we've talked a lot about what his soul is going through, but what is happening in the 3D for this Divine Masculine? What is going on with this Divine Masculine in his 3D physical world? So solitude came out. And then I just looked at the bottom of the deck and spiritual union. So solitude, I just heard, I'm embracing this new silence. I'm embracing, and I see on this card, you see this woman, she's holding a book. And so that really called out to me, and that this masculine is studying, he's learning about this in solitude, and all of this is leading to this spiritual union. And then yes, stand your ground. And I just heard ego triggers in the way and karmic partnerships. So this Divine Masculine is being asked to stand his ground, even when the ego may be triggered, even when karmic partners may show back up. And this might not be for everybody, but I'm hearing for certain Divine Feminines, for you to know that this Divine Masculine is starting to stand his ground with any karmic relationships that he's still in. So I just heard groundbreaking, and groundbreaking meaning like the structure is shifting. So this structure is shifting, this ground is breaking in the sense of this karmic partnership, this karmic relationship. It's like what I'm seeing is kind of like the tectonic plates on Earth when earthquakes happen, where it's separating the ground. And so these karmic partnerships that these Divine Masculines are in, they're being separated at the root level at this point, which is going to completely take them out of your Divine Masculine's life. And he's letting you know, Divine Feminine, I'm standing my ground on this. I'm staying strong in this time. I'm not giving in to these karmic partnerships. I see the truth. I have this spiritual union in me with you. And yes, the Disruption card, which in this deck is the Tower card. So exactly, this groundbreaking, this pulling away. And you know what's interesting now, what I'm picking up on is, so this disruption with this divine masculine, with this groundbreaking shift, so with at the root chakra level, these karmic partners are being torn out of his life, which is also why he's feeling so much more emotion and allowing so much more emotion to flow to you, divine feminine. And this structure, these karmic partnerships being ripped out at the root level, is also what's affecting you and your root chakra right now around your own inner self-love. What else is this? Okay, so I didn't even get to ask the question. I was going to ask what else is going on with this divine masculine. And so we have the temptation card and rest and rejuvenation. So absolutely, the temptation of these karmic partnerships, he's rested, he's rejuvenating, he's actually giving himself that time. He's not running from this rest, he's not running from this rejuvenation. He's allowing the stillness to be there, which is allowing him to be stronger in these situations with these karmic partnerships, and allowing temptation to not manifest. I heard the temptation can't manifest anymore with these karmic partnerships. Before, if he was trying to stand his ground or run away from the temptation, or not run away from the temptation, but not give in to the temptation of these karmic partnerships, because in the past I'm hearing he's wanted to break free of these karmic partnerships so strongly in the past, yet the root chakra wasn't stable enough. So childhood wounds were still impacting him. The trauma bonding was still impacting him to where he gave in, and he didn't give himself that self-respect, that self-love. I'm hearing remorse, so he regrets that he didn't stand his ground in the past, and that's also what's impacting him to be able to stand his ground even more so now. What is his higher self wanting him to focus on right now? What is this divine masculine's higher self calling him to focus on or to know and understand? Triumph came out. There is success at the end of this. His soul is letting him know. Oh my gosh, so much going on here. Okay, so we have triumph that fell out first, and I was going to say found out first. So he's finding out that there is success in this path. He's seeing that there is success in this path. He understands it. And awareness fell out after that. So absolutely, he has that awareness that success is going to come from him breaking free of these karmic partnerships. There's success that's going to come from this expansion with his divine feminine, this newfound opportunity, this newfound path, this new voyage with the divine feminine. There is success there. He has that full awareness. And then we have 3 cards that fell out together. So we have emotional loss, and then we have material harvest, and then fertility, which essentially means new birth, new beginnings. So for this, the emotional loss, yes, the emotional loss of these past connections, these karmic relationships. As you guys have known, even the divine feminine, you've gone through karmic relationships, and it's still an emotional loss to get through. And I'm hearing for him, it's these karmic partnerships, but also it's the emotional loss of who he used to be. He's having to mourn this past life of him. Material harvest is showing that there is abundance coming though, and he's seeing this come to fruition. He's seeing this abundance come to him, and it's a new connection to the material world. It's a newfound connection to the material world. And then fertility, birthing a new right, birthing a new order, birthing a new world. So he's on this path. He's reestablishing this, which in the past, the divine feminine, you may have been frustrated saying, you know, why haven't I seen any real action or any progression from what it seems like in the physical 3D? A lot of this was happening on an energetic level, but we see now with material harvest, with fertility, we're seeing this with the past cards coming here with adventure. There is so much now happening in this physical 3D. You're going to start seeing this happen in the physical 3D with your divine masculine. It's starting to show up now. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have foundations and achievement, and you see the rainbow and the happy family. So this is all leading to this new foundation, this new achievement, this new happy family with you, divine feminine and divine masculine. This is all coming to fruition, and it's starting to actually physically manifest in the 3D more so now. So I'm hearing in the next 2 to 3 months, you'll definitely start seeing this. So if you do have contact with your divine masculine, or you're able to, you have that somewhat of communication there, you're in their life in some capacity, you will start seeing this reflected in this material world in their physical 3D. And if you have not met your twin flame yet, this is all leading to him being entered into your life in the 3D is what I'm hearing. So this is going to manifest in that way of that he will enter into your life at some point in the near future. I'll do some twin flame mirror oracle messages, so see what the divine masculine wants to say to this divine feminine. What does this divine masculine want to say to this divine feminine? I'm not sure what to do or say. And I just heard yet, because as this new structure is being established, as he's thinking about you, he's not that he's scared to say something, but I'm hearing that he's trying to figure out the best approach and what to say. And then I know I have father issues and I want to return to you. So a lot of childhood wounds have come up recently for the divine feminine, which was what I was speaking about with the root chakra for her. So this may or may not be for every divine masculine, but I'm hearing that there are some, with this card, there are some divine masculines who are working on father issues, which is a reflection of the childhood wounds coming up for the divine feminine right now. What else does this divine masculine want to say? But again, we have the I want to return to you card that fell out, which is definitely on par with what this divine masculine is feeling for this divine feminine. I don't know how to have a healthy relationship. Yes, that's what he's working on. This is his ego. I'm trying to heal old wounds. Yeah, I mean, we see this. We know that this is happening. Thank you for telling us, divine masculine. And then please give me another chance. I'll leave it off on this one just because I feel like that's so beautiful. This divine masculine truly wants to be with you, divine feminine, and he really wants you to give him another chance. I'm hearing, I know I've let you down in the past. I know that I haven't committed to this physical relationship in the 3D like you've wanted me to. And I know I've come and gone, even on an energetic level. And I'm so sorry that I've pulled back in some cases. But please give me another chance to prove to you that I am here. Let me have another chance for us to have our spiritual union. So I'll leave it off there, you guys. I hope that this resonated. If it did, feel free to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That really does help out the growth here on YouTube, as we know that the lovely algorithm works that way. And thank you so much for joining me. I do look forward to continuing to build this beautiful community with you all. And I hope that you all have an amazing weekend. Sending so much love.